Hello everyone and welcome to Friday Favorites. It's a time where I share all of the things that I am loving for the week. Sometimes I talk about the previous week. Since it's every other week, you will find me sharing some of my favorite things that I am enjoying or that I recommend or that I've tried before and can't live without. So let's get started with Friday Favorites. So, as some of you know, I recently visited Austin, Texas. I am from the great state of Texas, and I love going to Austin in particularly, but I also love going to Dallas and Waco. I worked there for a period of time. I had met my husband there. So we've got a lot of history, and I really love the state. And if you know me, you know I am loving and love all foods from Texas. So my criteria when we do visit Texas is that I don't, except for breakfast, and even sometimes for breakfast, I want to have either Mexican food, a chicken fried steak, which if you're from Texas, you know it's different than a country fried steak, which is what we have here in Tennessee. So a chicken fried steak dinner or barbecue. So those are the three things that are a must for me when I visit Austin or when I visit any Texas city. So this last visit to Austin, I want to share some of my favorites with you. And that is some of the restaurants that we visited. We were down for a wedding, and one morning we hit the breakfast taco place. It was called Taco Deli, and it was really good. It had some really good breakfast tacos. My husband's vegan, so he was able to get something that he really liked. You know, no eggs, no dairy. He was able to get, I think, an avocado and might have even been tofu. So Austin's very progressive, and I love that they have vegan options for him. So everything was great. So we visited Taco Deli. That was one of my favorites. The thing that I got at Taco Deli was one of my favorite tacos is eggs with chorizo, which is like a Mexican sausage, spicy Mexican sausage. It was delicious. Put a little bit of cheese on there. I think I had some pico de gallo with it or some other salsa that came with it. So excellent. It was a great morning. Everyone was sitting outside. Fun. So if you are interested in seeing more pictures, I've got those on a highlight reel in my Instagram. Another one of my favorites, again, it's in the three categories that I love, was we visited the Salt Lick. The Salt Lick is not necessarily in Austin. It's in a small area called Dripping Springs. And they have one of the best barbecues in the world, I think. Of course, I haven't had it all over the world, true, but I'm pretty sure it's in the top of the world. I would say that most chefs that do travel the world love this area of Texas for their barbecue. They are known for their barbecue. So we love the Salt Lick, their brisket, and you can see how they're cooking it open fire, just right there, like in a pit kind of thing. So good. And the sides, of course, one of them being mac and cheese, and it's just delicious. So there was that. Now, one of the things that we did when we visited Austin is actually we landed in Dallas and drove to Austin. So when we landed in Dallas, so this is not a Dallas favorite, but I'm sure that I'm sure they have some great chicken fried steak. But we ate our chicken fried steak in Dallas, and it was at Bubba's, which is also known as Babe's, or the same company, the same owners own Babe's and Bubba's, which is near SMU, Southern Methodist University. for those of you who are not from Texas. So it was near SMU, and it's called Bubba's, and I had the chicken fried steak, and I had the half portion, because I'm watching my weight. The half portion with the gravy, with the mashed potatoes, with the green beans, and with the big puffy roll that was delicious. Now, I wish I had had the banana pudding, but I didn't. I refrained since I'm doing a low sugar, low carb thing going on. So I didn't do that, but it was delicious. Now, in Austin, I highly recommend you going to Threadgill's. I believe that's the name of it. Threadgill's is great for chicken fried steak. That's their number one thing there. So that's a place, if you are in Austin, check out Threadgill's for chicken fried steak. And the last thing I recommend for food was, well, actually, let me just kind of rattle off the other places that we visited for food. We did go to one of my favorite places for Mexican food, and it's called Joe's Bakery. It's this small little kind of hole-in-the-wall place. You walk in, and it's just like no frills. They have a bakery that has Mexican pastries, but their food is to die for. It's like exactly what I grew up eating. The tortillas are handmade. The salsa is delicious. The chips are always hot and great tasting. It just tastes better. There's just something about their corn chips that just, most Texas places, their corn chips are very different than what we get in Tennessee. But it was delicious, very good. And I always get a taco that has carne guisada in it, which is kind of a meat stew, and they just stew it for a long time. They put like Mexican spices on it, and it's just delicious, and they put it in a flour tortilla. So there. I didn't eat all of my flour tortillas, but I got enough to have that wonderful taste. So there's that. And the other place we love is Torchy's Tacos. So we were glad that they stayed open late, because we got in pretty late from our event on Friday night that we went to, and we had not had any dinner, and I wanted to sit down and have a good dinner, so we went to Torchy's, and they were still open, and I loved it. And you can just kind of pick and choose. They have like fish tacos, they have shrimp tacos, they have all kinds of different trendy type tacos. And the last place that we visited, which I loved it, but it was not my cup of tea, because as you know, I haven't been having sugar. So I tried the Voodoo donut there in downtown, and it was delicious, but I just couldn't finish my whole donut. But I highly recommend you going to that place. So it was very, very trendy and fun. Lots and different donuts all around, and enough, some for every taste, I would say. Some of the things to do in Austin is to walk around the trails that go alongside their riverbanks. So beautiful. That day was just a gorgeous day. People were out canoeing and paddleboarding and kayaking, jogging, riding their bikes, riding limes, their little scooters all around town. But it's a great tour of that area if you just hop on a trail. But you have to know where you're going, because it does kind of go in and out and up and around and across. So like we parked at the park that was across from Barton Springs, and I can't remember the name of the park, but then you just kind of catch a trail around there, and it's a beautiful, beautiful area. Lots to do. Also, I recommend that you don't stay near 6th Avenue. 6th Avenue is like the honky-tonk kind of, imagine in Nashville, like the Broadway area, only louder. Really and truly louder. So 6th Avenue is kind of like the main drag in the French Quarter. Like, it's just loud and lots of people. But we could still hear the music through our windows in our hotel room. So I highly recommend you stay off that area. The other area that's really fun that I recommend, that's my favorite, is to go around Congress Avenue. It goes all the way to the city, or into the, I think it like dead ends at the Capitol. And lots of shops, lots of fun restaurants. Highly recommend you spending an afternoon there and just kind of in and out of those shops. Really fun. Another favorite of mine is to actually tour the state capitol. They have amazing tours. You'll learn so much, and you can go in and around. They have gift shops. Their gift shop is awesome. In and around the state capitol, they show you all kinds of things. It's just fascinating, and it's a beautiful, beautiful capitol. So you don't want to miss that. The other thing is I love walking around University of Texas. So in their campus, and it's a huge campus, there is like a little main drag that's right in front. It has shops and things, and that little area is always fun to just kind of walk around, check out the buildings, and look at the student life. When we went this last time, school was out. There was nothing in session, so it was a little dead. But normally it's the hustle and bustle. People are in and out and doing stuff, and it's just a lot of fun. So those are my favorites for Austin. You can fly Southwest into Austin from most cities. We just happen to have done the Dallas, Waco, Austin route, and then back up. But I highly recommend a quick vacation. It's so fun to just go there and do some things. They also have nearby, they have one of the largest water parks called the Schlitterbahn. So I highly recommend that. I also recommend Whataburger. Got to stop and get some of that. And if you are driving up through, let's say like Round Rock, they have Round Rock donuts, which are really, really good. And sometimes within, inside Austin, which we did not find, but I know that they have them, are sort of a Czech pastry called kolaches. So I highly recommend those. But I hope that this has helped you, and I hope you enjoy my Friday favorites. And stay tuned for more. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you subscribe either on iTunes or YouTube. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day.